ladies and gentlemen. About a month ago, I remember reading a few articles where they were projecting the job loss in this country to go on well into 2021. Well, earlier today, I was talking to True Royal, and she was telling me another 1.4 million have filed unemployment claims, which I am not really shocked over that at all. So this story comes out on NPR. Job picture worsens. Millions more filed for unemployment in reversal. So, wow. This is almost like it's never ending. So, new claims for unemployment benefits rose last week for the first time in 4 months since March 28th, as states began reimposing lockdown restrictions in effort to reverse a surge of coronavirus. So, more than 1.4 million new claims were filed during the week ending July 18th, an increase of more than 100,000 over the week before, the Labor Department reported Thursday. So there's some audio here that I'm going to play for you.
And NPR's Jim Zaroli is with us because there are new jobs numbers out. And Jim, I do feel badly that you are so often the bearer of bad news, but that's sort of just what we've got, and that's what we've got today, right?
Yeah, we do have more bad news. I mean, the Labor Department says 1.4 million people filed unemployment claims for the first time during the week ending July 18th, which is an increase of more than 100,000 over the week before. In March, we saw this real historic spike in people filing for unemployment. One week, there were nearly 7 million new claims. Since then, we've seen the number of unemployed people falling for 4 months.
Right.
Because states were relaxing their coronavirus restrictions and people were going back to work. This is the first time we've seen a reversal and an increase in the number of claims filed.
So is that it? It's just because, people are realizing that maybe some of those reopenings happened too quick and they're shutting back down again?
Yeah, I think it has everything to do with a recent spike in coronavirus cases. And one of the things that's been happening for months is that states were slowly relaxing their lockdown rules. But recently, we've seen cases increase in dozens of states across the country, especially in the Sun Belt, in places like Arizona, Florida, Texas, California. So states have been forced to reimpose a lot of these restrictions, and a lot of the kinds of businesses that attract crowds of people, like restaurants and bars and retail stores, have been closing again to try to slow the spread of the virus. California in particular has gone back into lockdown, and it really saw a spike in claims last week. They were also up in Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, all states that are seeing more cases of the virus.
So, I know it's impossible to predict the future, but what do we take away from this? Does this tell us anything about the jobs market going forward?
Well, it is 1 week, and maybe we shouldn't draw too many conclusions from it. It certainly suggests that the Labor Department has at least stalled. The labor market recovery has at least stalled, and that's not a good sign. We're also seeing evidence that more and more businesses that had closed temporarily since March expect they're not going to reopen. And that's really worrisome. It means the slowdown that we've seen could be a lot harder to get out of and last much longer than we thought. What appears to have been a temporary slowdown could be much worse. We've seen, look at what we've seen. We've seen big retail chains like JCPenney shut down. Today we saw Ann Taylor's parent company file for bankruptcy. Big airlines are warning they're going to have to furlough tens of thousands of people. Even the tech companies like LinkedIn are cutting jobs, and they've largely been protected before now.
Wow. So Congress is debating a fifth stimulus bill to deal with all the effects of the coronavirus, and we're covering this elsewhere in the show, just what's going to go in that bill. But I imagine these new jobs numbers, this has got to be putting pressure on lawmakers to extend unemployment benefits, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of the items of contention is this additional $600 a week that unemployed people get from the federal government. It's supposed to end on July 31st. Republicans have said this encourages people not to work because they make more money on unemployment than if they had a job. But there's a lot of evidence it's kept families going. There's research. It's really kept poverty at bay, and this is going to put pressure on Congress to consider extending them.
And here's Jim Zarroli. Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all. So, and I do have a story on the $600 stimulus that everybody's been getting. There is an update on that, and I will be doing a separate video on it. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely not good news when you see the numbers are still going up. And, they're still saying how bad the labor market is deteriorating around the country. And as far as what they're saying about this discourages people from going back to work, go back to what work? Many of the businesses that these folks left are not coming back. So discourage you from what work? There's no work out here hardly. So I don't know what they're talking about. Just like Trump talking about sending the kids to school, then the parents can go back to work. What work? What businesses are out here? There's not a lot of hiring going on out here. Come on, man. Y'all can't be that stupid. Then again, I think we're seeing a lot of poor leadership that's always been there. Now it's just amplified because of the coronavirus. All right. So California, they are reversing a lot of businesses that were open. So now you're opening the floodgates for those folks to go back on unemployment if they were on there before. And they said the Sun Belt states are the absolute worst right now. And they're reimposing a lot of the lockdowns again, and just like they said, they reopened way too soon. So it's Arizona, Florida, and Texas, which states that start reimposing lockdowns. And we'll see what Congress does as far as what kind of package they're coming out with. We should be hearing something in the coming days on what kind of stimulus, who's going to be getting the next round of stimulus, and of course, unemployment, if that's extended or not, if the $600 will still be there for, to help families. And who knows, unfortunately, I wish I could say the leadership was good and we could kind of figure out what they're going to do, but leadership is not good in America. But y'all, please tell me what you think. I really think this is, it's sad, but we know the separation must happen. It must happen. And there's going to be more separations to come. This is not the only one, far from the only one. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.